The sacred spring. Up until recent times, sacred springs were revered all over the world. They were protected and they were honoured, and the people knew the power and the sacredness of them. They made offerings to the water, they decorated them with ribbons and banners, they made prayers, they made pilgrimages. Not only did they build rocks and sacred fountains and wells over the site of the spring, but the rocks themselves actually had a purpose. The people of the old world actually used these rocks to protect the energy of the water as it came out of the spring itself. In fact, on long journeys when water had to be transported, they kept the water in quartz crystal glasses to keep the purity of the water alive. What makes spring water so powerful though is the mineral content in it, the calcium levels and so on and so forth. But not just that, the energy, the living energy of the water itself as it travels through all of the layers of the earth, passing through all sorts of rocks and crystal and quartz. As it goes through them layers, it charges itself and it comes out as living water. But as the water comes out and the humans are there to make offerings and prayers to the water, that even energizes the water further, as Masaru Emoto found in his experiments, where the molecular structure of the living waters can be further enhanced by humans and can be actually detrimental to the water if we give negative thoughts to it, and extremely positive to the water if we give love and offerings and gratefulness for the waters. Spring water comes from the earth's womb, and it carries the memory of the earth in its pristine state, and it maintains balance in humans and the landscape itself and all of the animals and bacteria and fungus and everything that lives around it, because everything wouldn't be without the water, the spring water. Water is one of the elements, the foundation of life itself. There is also a huge link between springs and electromagnetic energy, as the sites where the springs are extremely high in electromagnetic energy, so much that even orbs and apparitions have even been seen at the site of a sacred spring. When spring water was actually examined under a microscope, it displayed high vorticular motion, which is millions of vorticles spinning round, because the water is extremely energized, and tap water in comparison displayed very little of this. The ancestors also made pilgrimages and made offerings to the spring to commune with the spirits of the spring and the spirits in the other dimensions, as they were very connected individuals to the elements and the spirits in the other worlds that are not seen to the naked eye. Water was seen as a great tool for cleansing the body, mind and soul, and even Jesus directed a blind man to the pool of a sacred spring to have his sight restored. Ribbons and flags were also placed by the spring to protect the spring itself from harm. So many churches are placed over original Celtic and Druid spring sites where they have already built the rocks around the original spring, and this is also evidence of the electromagnetic grid, where they could have used this electromagnetic energy present at the site for the church when it comes to the electromagnetic grid of the old world and harnessing the energy. We once again as a human race need to realise the importance of these springs and bring about this information. This is such an important subject, and we need to start respecting the springs and getting our water from the springs again. All of the big corporate entities have taken over. Bottled water is ozone, tap water is loaded with who knows what, including fluoride, and I don't even want to say the amount of rubbish that is in there. But we need, as a human race, to come together and to actually acknowledge the existence of where water comes from, which is H2O, primary water, made from gas underneath the earth. And we need to acknowledge the sacredness. The big corporate entities do not have our best interest at heart, and they are making so much money. Tap water is no good. Bottled water is no good. Spring water is what humans are meant to be drinking, and they are hiding them. They are destroying the springs. The answer, as usual, is to get this information out, to share this post, and to come together as humans so we can once again drink from these sacred springs.